bangga. Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu, you're audible.
Sorry for this delay. I am someone says. Hare Krishna. Let us begin with prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीदीनतारिणम्. Hare Krishna, welcome all of you for our Bhakti Shastri study of Sri Ishopanishad. We are in the mid of mantra number 10. Am I right? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Last time we had seen the 18 symptoms of Vidya. Is it not? 18 Lakshanas. Today we will continue from there ahead. Before that, let's recite these two important shlokas. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Ishavasyamidam Sarvam Kinchachakat Teන Bhunjiva Magladah Kasya Swidhanam. Hare Krishna. So in our study of Ishopanishad, we have come to this third section of Ishopanishad, the section of study of knowledge and worship in absolute and relative sense, both. So in the first three shlokas from mantra 9 to 11, they are discussing about Vidya, right, knowledge. And mantras 12 to 14, they tell about what? What do they tell about?
Worship.
Many of you recollect worship, yes. So first three shlokas about knowledge, Vidya. Second, the next three shlokas talk about worship or Sambhuti. So Vidya and Sambhuti, these are the two topics of them. And we will be, if we study the first three shlokas very well, as last time we saw it very visibly, that the mantras 12 to 14 exactly resemble mantras 9 to 11. So in that sense, it's important that we learn the first three shlokas very clearly. So last time I did show about the different types of Vidya, and then we studied mantra 9 and a part of mantra 10. So I want to ask all of you, you remember the different types of knowledge which we come across in life? The broad categories. Any of you recollect? It's been a long time. Last week we could not have.
Vidya,
Unless-
Prabhu. Avidya,
Vidya,
Paravidya,
Avidya.
Aparavidya.
Okay,
False
maybe a
Vidya.
little explanation for it. What does it mean? What do you mean by avidya?
Avidya is material knowledge, Prabhuji.
Material knowledge. Okay.
Aesthetic
Godless
knowledge.
education, we can say.
Atheistic knowledge, Prabhuji, godless education.
Atheistic material knowledge or godless education. Yes, what you're telling is right. Yeah. Then what is the next division, next category?
Appara,
What is the
Para
next
Vidya,
category?
Avidya.
Yeah, you have to tell the meaning a little.
Prabhuji, Vedic material knowledge in Apara Vidya and
Very
Vedic
good.
spiritual knowledge is Paravidya.
Paravidya. Yes, these are the three broad categories, right? Last time we did see this. And each of them have their role, they have their contribution or benefits, right? We should see their scope and then appreciate only in that scope. Like, for example, today, the modern man has done a lot of advancement in terms of making life comfortable. Is it not? Trying to understand this world. He has made advancement, and due to which we are able to sit at different places and are able to discuss together. Is it not? It is something because of the advancement of avidya, actually. Is it? So we appreciate in that sense. But when we talk here, discuss about Vidya, we are talking in terms of absolute sense and relative sense. Absolute sense means which is the highest, which gives the maximum benefit, maximum shreyas, the benefit for the jiva, highest benefit for the jiva. In that sense, we are seeing. So we should appreciate and also see if there are defects in each of them also. So avidya is not based on Vedas, but it is talking about this world. That's why it's knowledge, avidya. And then aparavidya is based on Vedas, but it is talking about this world, how to live in this world, acknowledging the following the rules made by that supreme controller, Ishvara. And the Paravidya is knowledge about transcending this material world. And that is clearly told in the Shastras, especially the category of Vedas like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavata, and many other like that. There was also one more category which we saw. That category is a very strange category. It is called false knowledge. Is it not? False knowledge or so-called knowledge. And we saw the comparison between the first category, that is atheistic knowledge, avidya, and the false knowledge. We saw the comparison between them in mantra number 9. Just to bring all of you in the context of what we are studying. So mantra 9, if we have to tell in one sentence what it talks, what it tells. It tells that false knowledge is more dangerous than atheistic knowledge. So-called knowledge, which is false knowledge, is more dangerous than material knowledge. That was the one-line summary. Last time we did see that. And that's why it is also told pseudo-spiritualist means one who is not truly understanding the spiritual path. He has understood it completely opposite. He's called pseudo-spiritualist. He's going to head into a darker future than even materialist. He is misled. He is himself misguided and he is misleading others also. So we saw this last time. We did see this materialist and pseudo-spiritualist, this contrast we had seen. Correct? And then, in the false knowledge category, we saw Karma Kanda and Maya. These two false knowledge categories we had seen. Okay. Now, we are now heading into mantra number 10. This was, I think I did it. So mantra number 10. So mantra number 10, it tells the difference between avidya and the para. So Prabhupada talks about the difference between material knowledge and spiritual knowledge. Mantra number 10 tells that. We will see today the shloka again, and then we will revisit what we learned, and then we will take it ahead. Okay? So, mantra number 10, you see what it is telling. I'm just showing the shloka once again. Please open that mantra page. Anyad evahur vidyaya, anyad ahur avidyaya. Iti shushrumadhirana yenastad vichachakshire. Someone please read the translation. Please read.
The wise
Anyone?
people have explained that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge and that a different result is obtained from the culture of nescience.
Science. Nescience here means avidya. Okay, the word meaning of nescience is avidya. So, one result is obtained by cultivating vidya. Another result is obtained by cultivating avidya. Shloka also says, you see, anyat evahur vidyaya, and then avidyaya. So, both lead to different results. Who has told this? Where is this learnt? This is learnt from someone who has followed a parampara which is called as Dhira. We'll see that person's qualities today in the purport of Srila Prabhupada. So, if you see the purport, we saw that the material knowledge, godless education, it leads to bad qualities. But that knowledge, which is based on spiritual principles, it leads to good qualities. The shloka is telling, avidya, it is leading to bad qualities. Vidya leads to good qualities. This is how Prabhupada describes the result. Because the shloka told, no, one result we obtain by vidya, another result we obtain by vidya. So in the last session, we did see the list of good qualities, which vidya should produce in a person. Any of you recollect some names? Any of you recollect some names of those qualities? It could be of even Sanskrit name or English names, anything.
Prabhuji,
Amanitvam, Madam Vikram.
Humility, pridelessness,
Humility, pridelessness, very good.
Tolerance,
Simplicity.
Tolerance, simplicity,
Simplicity, cleanliness, tolerance.
cleanliness.
non-violence.
So, non-violence, yes, true. So, you will be asked actually to write at least some 5 or 6 qualities, which are the result of cultivating vidya. So, one should know them. They are very simple. They are most important to remember them. And Prabhupada gives very nice, simple meaning to them. Like say the first quality is humility. Correct, na? Amanitvam. So Prabhupada, see how he defines it. One should become a perfect gentleman or a lady and learn to give respect, proper respect to others. That is humility. So, very nice, simple definition. So similarly, if you have to talk about non-violence, ahimsa, that's the third quality. But see, Prabhupada, how does he define ahimsa as? Usually we think ahimsa as something not to kill other jivas, right? Other animals. Sometimes people think to not kill animals is non-violence, but you can harm people, men. That is okay. Sometimes they consider I am a very non-violent person. Nowadays, this word is also very famous, no? Non-violent communication. Have you heard this? Even in words, people do violence. That's why people are told to learn non-violent communication. So, how does Prabhupada define violence as? Non-violence as? Ahimsa as? Any of you recollect? It's there in the screen.
One should not become a source of anxiety to others by the action of his body, by the thoughts of his mind, or by his words.
So it's such a nice definition of life. You can appreciate the depth of the explanation of Prabhupada. This is how Shastras describe. So like this, there are a list of 18 qualities. Among them, I had told that there are two very important qualities. Maybe I will just visit them and then we will take it ahead. So which are the two important qualities? Huh?
Prabhu, approaching a bona
your
fide
books.
spiritual master, Prabhu.
Approaching a bona fide
Appro-
spiritual master.
That quality. And another one is goal,
What is that goal?
unalloyed devotion.
Analyze. Very exactly you pointed out. Acharya Upasanam. That's the first very important quality among all of them. That is like the entrance or doorway for all the other good qualities. You learn all good qualities, develop all of them. First, he has to accept a bona fide, true spiritual master, a guru. Then, after he cultivates all of them, he has to ultimately cultivate or develop that goal, which is Maicha Ananya Yogena Bhakti Avyabhichari. Ananya Avyabhicharini Bhakti towards Krishna. That is the goal. So numbers are 6 and 16, I think. Yeah. So they are the ones you can mark them. You will learn them in Bhagavad Gita study very deeply. Here Prabhupada has listed the qualities. So I think we had stopped here. Had we just done this, and if you recollect, where you had
First
marked.
paragraph, Prabhu. We have
In the
completed
modern
till first
society,
Yeah, we have to
Achha,
start from in the modern society.
in the modern. Okay. So Prabhupada, after telling about the good qualities generated by Vidya, so these qualities, how we should approach them is, these are the qualities one should develop to truly become a Vidwan or a Vidyarthi. At the same time, if one has developed Vidya, these should be seen in that person. They are the means, they are the ways to develop Vidya, and they're also the characteristics of one who has developed Vidya. Both are there. So Prabhupada, how he explains this, you see here, except for all this, all other methods are avidya. Krishna tells in Gita this very word. And then he quotes Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a great learned person. In fact, a few days before his day was there, you might have all learned about his life and some very wonderful writings and like that. He was the highest, he attained the highest post which an Indian could attain in the rule of British colonial empire. When India was under colonialism by British, that time they were whatever the highest post an Indian could attain, he attained it because of his amazing intelligence. And he himself says something about avidya. He says that by advancement of material knowledge, a man becomes converted into an ass. Very bold statement. Why is it told that he becomes an ass? Out of all animals, why this animal is being pointed? Why ass? Last time we did thought about this. Any of you recollect? Why ass?
Is the most foolish animal.
Most foolish animal. Okay. In what sense, Prabhu? Can you explain a little? How is
Even
it?
though grass is available everywhere, he thinks that only his master will give him some special grass and works very hard.
It thinks that only it can get grass by bearing all that luggage. True. Very nice. Okay. Anything more? does all that baggage which it carries comes to its help? Is it useful for that, for its life? No. It is carrying a weight which is of no use to it. It can lead a life without such burden and still get its living. But it falsely thinks that it can only get food by carrying that weight. Is it not? So similarly, a person who is materialist, he thinks that by advancement in this type of knowledge only can he make a living. And this knowledge will not help him in his ultimate journey. So there are songs by Bhaktivinoda Thakur explaining this. Jada Vidya Maya Vaibhav. And there are many very famous songs. Maybe I'll share it with the Leela Madhuri Prabhu. He will share it on the group. You can all read the meanings of it. How starkingly he writes. So a jiva who is taking birth in this world, after he attains a little maturity, he pursues the goals of education. And he spends so much of time in pursuing that, which ultimately doesn't help him in ultimate journey. Nowadays, one can clearly see also, even to make a living, what one studies in college is not useful. Nowadays, people are even challenging that. Even, I'm not talking even from spiritual viewpoint. It's just some plain material viewpoint. So people think that, there was a time when, all of us, when we were studying in schools, colleges, there was that big dream. You study well, you earn well, is it not? Nowadays, people without studying also are earning very good. There is no need to undergo all that tough regimen of graduation, all that. So the point is, even from spiritual view, if you see, this knowledge, it actually makes a person dull in spiritual sense. He becomes caught up in the false goals of life, which are flimsy, which are transient, which are ultimately disappointing to the jiva. So Prabhupada, that's why he quotes this Bhakti Vinod Thakur's lines. Some materialistic persons, politicians in the spiritual guise, decry the present system. Some people may say, yes, this is wrong, this is not right. But because they themselves don't have the true knowledge, they can't change the situation. This is where I remember last time we stopped. So from here, Prabhupada highlights the different types of incidents which show how a person educated in godless education, he is behaving today. Remember, this Prabhupada wrote in 1960s or 1940s also. But still, it is more than relevant for today. So, can somebody please read from this first line, in the modern society, from here? Please read. Kindly read. Who's reading?
In the modern society, even a boy thinks himself self-sufficient and pays no respect to elderly men. Due to the wrong type of education being imparted in our universities, boys all over the world are giving their elders headaches. The Sri Ishopanishad very strongly warns that the culture of nescience is different from that of knowledge. The university are the universities are, so to speak, center of nescience only.
See, Prabhupada is telling here that today people have become more arrogant. After becoming full of knowledge, whatever knowledge, one should become humble, right? There is that famous statement. A fruit-laden tree naturally bends down. Is it not? Similarly, a person with education, he is humble. He is respectful to others. Is it not? Vidya, Vinayena Bhushanam. Vinaya, Vidya Bhushanam. There is a famous aphorism. So, Vinaya, Namrata, yeah, humility, these are the symptoms of education. But people have become more arrogant because they know how to do things, how to manage things, make ends meet. They become more arrogant and they don't respect. Nowadays, people hardly care to follow even basic etiquettes. Why I should respect? And they care to speak loudly, do anything in front of elders. Earlier, people would hide if they have to do something wrong, is it not? They would hide. But nowadays, they are very bold. This is considered a sign of advancement. Is it not? They are giving their elders headache. Many of you are parents here. You can all tell about this statement. How there is always that fear that children should not become disobedient or tread the wrong path. Is it not? Especially in today's day and age, the schools, children are increasingly being exposed to such bad association. Exposures are like that, due to which there is always a fear. And most of the times, children become a headache to parents. So, Ishopanishad is warning. So, why this is happening? Because so-called places of education have become centers of avidya. Prabhupada told very nice, very bold statement about schools and colleges of today. He told they are spiritual slaughterhouse. He made this exact statement. They are spiritual slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse means you basically kill that animal, right? Slaughter. Spiritual slaughterhouse, because the jiva is completely ripped off of his spiritual sense. He doesn't have any sense of respect to higher controls. Is it not? They don't have respect. They don't have any level of obedience. On everything they doubt. That's the only sign of intelligence, or what? Doubting is a sign of intelligence, but more than that, the intelligence has 5 more features, as Bhagavatam explains. To place faith in the right subject is a sign of intelligence. But to find that right subject, one should doubt. That Bhagavatam explains. So there are many such symptoms one can see today. So in modern day education, you can see how the input for that school goes. A very simple, innocent, faithful child. At the end, how he comes out? Completely arrogant, very, very kind of agnostic. Have you heard this word, agnostic? There is something called atheistic, but there is agnostic. Agnostic means I don't care. I don't care at it. People earlier were questioning, oh, is there God? No, there is no God, someone told. Even if God is there, I don't care. That's another type of attitude. It's increasing in revolt to God. Like that. So that's why it's called spiritual slaughterhouse. An output of a modern day school, how a person looks, what are his characters. So Prabhupada is describing. Earlier in the Vedic civilization, a school or a college called as Gurukula would train the student in, first of all, sense control. In this world, a student first should be trained about sense and mind control. That's what was called as brahmacharya, celibacy. You see, all the degrees have that word B, is it not? What does the B mean? What is that B? BA, BSc, BCom, BE,
Bachelor.
BMBBS, bachelor. Why bachelor? What is the meaning of bachelor? See, whoever named it had some understanding, but nowadays it's gone into air. Bachelor means he is practicing some amount of self. So there is a strong emphasis on sense control and education. There is a connection there. So that kind of emphasis is not there too. Forget about even making them aware. So Prabhupada writes here below. Please continue reading religious principles.
Religious principles are taught for the sake of name and fame only, and not for the sake of practical actions. Thus, there is animosity not only in social and political fields, but in the field of religion as well.
Whatever type of religion or faith is being taught, you see, it makes people more and more segmented or dividing. They make you feel, oh, you belong to this and all others are heathens or, whatever you call. They are good for nothing. They should just be killed. That's the type of religion being taught. Whatever, even if religion is being taught, it's only for showing to the world that I am part of this. So whatever education is being taught is completely out of spiritual principles. And even if there is some religion being taught, the goal of religion is spirituality, but that is not there. It's only at the level of body. And it only increases, it divides the society. There is animosity. And that's all done for material benefit, social and political fields, all that. The true spiritualist, a true practitioner of religion, he sees all the jivas are child of God. This is how Bhagavad Gita defines. All the true religious paths, this is taught. But people, they go far from this truth, only for material benefits. So even the so-called noble paths of life called nationalism, patriotism, these are all, actually, last time we did see this, they are also based on body. Is it not? Like, I belong to this particular community or a state or a country, and that's why that is superior. It's completely based on self. I am the center. So people think that this state or community or the land they have is all in all. But this vast creation is so infinite, even estimating by material means. The people of space research, they are increasingly understanding how vast is the material existence. So, and in that unending existence, we are living in a small, tiny place, and we think we are the center of the whole existence. So foolish it is. So Prabhupada would directly explain that here. No one considers, can you read this, Mataji? It's very nice lines.
No one
one
considered that this tiny earth is a lump of matter floating in immeasurable space along with many other lumps. In comparison to the vastness of space, these material lumps are like dust particles in the air. Because God has kindly made these lumps of matter complete in themselves, they are perfectly equipped with all necessities for floating in space.
See, this is how a true understanding person will see it, that these are all made by God, and by his energy, these are all floating. Like Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, is it not? How does that go? Aham dharayam yaham ojasa pushna. Does it go? Yechandramasi yechagno. I enter them and then I sustain them in their place. Krishna is telling that. So the point is, how are they staying there and doing what they're doing? How is it that Earth is staying and revolving in its orbit? How are so many planets doing the same? And this is because the supremely intelligent person God. This they don't understand. Those people who are pursuing material education, considering themselves as highly intelligent, but on this fact, they don't even bother about how the bigger existence is it not? There are innumerable suns, innumerable planets, and we are so tiny in the entire scheme of things. And we consider ourselves as all-knowing. How foolish such a claim is it not? So, a person who is truly learned, he will see this bigger view. He will have this larger view of the existence. We are a tiny jivas who are struggling with our own mind and senses, taking repeated birth and death, suffering by the threefold miseries. And we are, because of our own false ego, we are stuck in this world. So Prabhupada points that out. Such foolish people, can you read this one? There are
Such
people who try to, read it. Yeah, such foolish people.
Such foolish people draw up various plans to render national demarcation perfect, a task that is totally impossible. Okay, yet for this purpose, each and every nation has become a source of anxiety for others. More than 50% of the nation's energy is devoted to defense measures and the spoil.
Spoiled. So today, the most developed countries means those who invest heavily in defense. Why such situation has come? Because there is sense of insecurity. There is sense of anyone can attack anyone else at any time. That sense of fear, is it not? So how is it that our education has brought us out of fear? True knowledge should make us fearless. One who is not having knowledge is fearful. No? But today you see the most educated people are more fearful. That's how the indexes show in the investment. Read ahead, no one cares.
No one cares for the cultivation of real knowledge, yet people are falsely proud of being advanced in both material and spiritual knowledge.
So this is just a false pride about, yes, I am knowing, I know this, I know that, I know this. So that's why Srila Ishopanishad is telling us such education is actually a farce. A farce means it's just an illusion of being educated. We are making some benefits from it. That's why we may call ourselves educated. But real meaning of education is not addressed. So Prabhupada tells later how we should get real education. Read ahead, the highlighted part.
Yes. Adhira is one who is not disturbed by material illusion. No one can be undisturbed unless he is perfectly spiritually realized.
Just a minute. This is important for your exams also. That's why I want to emphasize this. We should learn Vidya from a Dhira. A real education can be obtained from a Dhira Vyakti, Dhira Purusha. And what are the characteristics of such a Dhira is being told here. You should please mark this for your exam too. So there are very clear symptoms of a Dhira. So Mataji just now read. He should not be disturbed by material illusion. I will tell you why this with some example maybe. During the times of Srila Prabhupada, there was a great race, competition for reaching to moon. Even today also it's there. At the time of Prabhupada, there was a strong competition between Soviet and America. There was Sputnik, Apollo, there were many missions like this, which were being attempted. And there was news that man stepped on moon, all that. We are not discussing here who did man really step on the moon or not. That's not the discussion here. That's another type of discussion. But the point is, how did Prabhupada react to it? Prabhupada told at one point, no, they did not go to moon. You know, they might have gone to some other planet and they are thinking it's moon. Another time, Prabhupada told, this reply is very important. Even if they go to moon, what did they achieve? They showed some dust and telling that it is moon's dust. Prabhupada told, even after going to moon, they are going to get birth and death and again suffer the same way. So what great achievement is that? So people may become fascinated. Wow, they become impressed. Wow, this is such a great advancement. But tell us, how different is our life going to be if someone reached moon? Today, it's increasingly being attempted, no? There is that big industrialist who is investing heavily on that, is it not? But how that changes the quality of our life? It makes, in fact, our scheme of things more difficult. Is it not? So, our life is not going to change. So, Dhira Vyakti is not disturbed by material illusion. This is what it means. And Prabhupada clearly told, no, he was actually, at that time, among all the social and spiritual leaders, he was the one man who was clearly denying or denouncing or, not showing any great, appreciation for that achievement. That man went to moon or like that. It was celebrated so much in all the media and all that time. 1960s, around that time, is it not? So that's when he wrote that famous book also, Easy Journey to Other Planets. Continue, please. No one can be undisturbed.
No one can be undisturbed unless he is perfectly spiritually realized, at which time one neither hankers nor laments for anything. Adhira realizes that the material body and mind he has acquired by chance through material association are but foreign elements. Therefore, he simply makes the best use of a bad bargain.
I want to make all of you think about this. This is a very important phrase. Best use of a bad bargain. It's an idiom actually. It has an implied meaning. So, a person who went to buy something, he was bargaining. Say, suppose he's buying some vegetables. He's bargaining. How much will you give? 1 kilo tomato. He's bargaining. And then he could get, good amount reduced. And then he found out that the tomatoes were not the best. So whatever he got, he thought it's the best bargain he had, but actually it was a bad bargain. What he got was not the best vegetable. Now with that vegetable, what he can do is thinking, I should put it to some right use. That's called best use of a bad bargain in a literal sense. What it means is, we have got a bad bargain. We tried for some very good deal, but our bargain was very bad. We got a material body. We have our material senses and mind, which are not truly worth it, not truly satisfying the soul. In that sense, they are bad bargain. What are the bad bargain here? Who is the purchaser, first of all? Who is the one who is purchasing? And then we can understand this phrase perfectly. Who is the one who is making the deal? Yes, please.
The soul.
The dheen person.
Dhira person will come later. But here,
Spirit soul.
I'm just talking about the phrase. Yeah, yes, please.
Spirit soul.
Spirit soul, correct. The soul he has landed in a bad bar. It has gotten all this material body, mind, all that around, the whole material atmosphere in which the jiva is in. This is all a bad bargain. but still it can be put to some good use. And there is nothing which is of useless, in this existence. There is some use. So one should make the best use of a bad bargain. That phrase has that connotation that we are living not in the best, not with the best things or situation, but we can make our purpose meet with the use of whatever bad bargain we got. So that's why Prabhupada is making that statement. Please see that this material body and mind, how the Dhira sees this. He has acquired through material association are but foreign elements. Therefore, he simply makes the best use of bad bargain. So he uses the material body and mind for fulfilling the spiritual purpose of the soul. He cannot make the body deathless. Is it possible? No. He cannot make the body foolproof from diseases. He can't. He can't make the body ever young. No, he can't make it. It will undergo all these problems. The mind and the body, all that. But he will use it for the best use. That's the spiritual purpose. Okay, so this phrase is very important because it will come again in the next purport, and in fact, it will keep coming. I want to ask again, please list the symptoms of Dhira. Yes, please. This is your exam question, so please. What are the symptoms of a Dhira?
One who is spiritually realized and not affected by material disturbance
Material disturbance, very good.
or
Yes.
any illusion.
Illusion, yes, that's the right word. Yes. Anything more?
One who is not disturbed by the body and mind, whatever. He doesn't identify, first of all, with body and mind and doesn't get bewildered or disturbed by the happenings of the body and mind.
Very good. Do you recollect some shloka on this, Prabhu? There is exact phrase of Dhira also there in that shloka.
Yes, Prabhu. I remember two shlokas. One is Bhagavad Gita, Dehinosmin Yata Dehe. And in Nectar of Instruction, first verse also, Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, that also Dhira is there, na? Both places.
Yes. Perfect. You're exactly told. Thank you. So, Dhiras Tatra na mohyati in Gita Krishna says, is it not? He's not affected by the change of body. And surely the Vegas also, he is able to control all of that. Very right. Thank you. So there is the Prabhupada exactly tells that he sees body and mind as foreign elements. Is it not? That's gotten by the soul. It is not the inherent characteristic of soul. It's not a swarupa of the soul. It's an external covering of the soul. So one knowing this, he makes the best use. So what does it mean to make the best use? That will be told later. It will come there actually. So Prabhupada in the description ahead, he will tell that, see, this material body and mind are the bad bargains for spiritual living entity. So the jiva has a essential function of spiritual activities, but the material body and mind's characteristic is different. They engage us in experiences of this world, which is different, is it not? So that's why the Dhira knows this. But what to do? He is caught up, the jiva is caught up in the material atmosphere. So he will use that material body and mind for getting liberated from that. So Prabhupada, he makes that point here. How does that happen? By hearing from the spiritual authority and by following the regulative principles. That is the true purpose or the usage of the bad bargain. To practice spiritual life, actually. So that is described here. So Prabhupada gives the example of Arjuna, who became Dhira by hearing from Krishna. So one of the very important qualities of a Dhira is that he has heard from another Dhira. Krishna is the greatest Dhira. Dhira Lalita, Dhirodhata, these are the qualities of Krishna in Bhakti Rasamrita. He's a Dhira actually. So Arjuna heard from such a Dhira, the true Dhira, original Dhira, Krishna, and then he became a Dhira. So such a person can impart that knowledge of Dhira to others also in the Parampara. So Prabhupada, in the last paragraph of this purport, he summarizes this. Mataji, can you only complete this last paragraph also? Read it.
An adhira, one who has not undergone the training of a dhira, cannot be an instructive leader. Modern politicians who pose themselves as adhiras are actually adhiras, and one cannot expect perfect knowledge from them. They are simply busy seeing to their own remuneration in dollars and cents. How then can they lead the mass of people to the right path of self-realization? Thus, one must hear submissively from a dhira in order to attain actual education.
So the shloka, it just states that one should get a real education from a dhira. And how to identify such dhira? Some symptoms are given. And those people who profess themselves as leader today, they are adhiras. They don't have any such understanding of spiritual truths. Such people cannot lead. They cannot be true leaders. In that sense, this is described. So that completes the mantra 10. Any of you have any comments or questions? In essence, what did we see in mantra 10? We saw that there are good qualities which are the lakshanas of Vidya. If we are following Vidya, that means we should cultivate these good qualities. And if we are following Avidya, then those bad qualities are seen. That's described. Prabhupada talked about some bad qualities like becoming arrogant, disrespectful, considering this material world, the goals as having goals of this world and all that actually, and becoming illusioned, not truly having knowledge, not having the broader view of the whole existence, even material existence also, all that. And at the end, Prabhupada concluded, because the shloka says that one should hear from Dhira, so Prabhupada gave some of the symptoms of a Dhira Purusha. Okay, so any comments or question on mantra 10?
Prabhuji, I have one question. So,
Yes.
I don't know if it is wrong or right, but when this Ishopanishad was written, at that time, at that time, the Vidya and Avidya, these two things are so like Avidya, which is coming from which is atheistic education, correct? So at that time, atheistic education was what, and Vidya is what? Because at that time also education is coming from Gurukul and some saint people. Nowadays, education is moderating and advancing, but at that time it was coming from Gurukul only.
Yeah. So your question is that in the times of earlier times, what is the avidya there? What is atheistic knowledge there? Am I right?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
That's the question. A very interesting question. Actually, there are some philosophies of even during the ancient Vedic times which are considered as atheist. Bauddha, Jaina, these are all atheistic philosophies. Nastika Vada, they are called. And there were a lot of, it's not that, please don't think that Buddhism or Jainism spread at the time when, in the recent history, how the dating is done. These philosophies were there even before. And these philosophies are addressed by our sages in their writings also. Like this Mayavada. There was this philosophy even before Adi Shankara also. Adi Shankara, he made it even more emphatic. So these philosophies were there even before. That's why the 6 philosophies which are called as Shad Darshanas, they are told addressing this actually. Nyaya, Vaisheshika, all that, no? And those Nastikavadas, which are not based on Vedas, they are being addressed by these 6 philosophies. The highest among them is Vedanta, 6th one. And the true Vedanta is actually as described by Bhagavatam, which is the highest Vedanta. That is Gita and Bhakti actually. So the point here is these philosophies were there even before. It's not that the entirety of the whole Earth planet was accepting the Vedas. There were always some who were against Vedas. They may not be seen so much in the times like Satya Yuga and all. But even in Satya Yuga, there was people like Hiranyakashipu, is it not? There were people like Ravana in Treta Yuga, is it not? So such divine and demonic are always there. It's just that in these times we see them more often around us, sometimes within us. Anyways, that's the limited understanding I have. I hope it helps.
Thank you,
Hare
sir.
Krishna. Okay, any other comment or question?
Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
here
yes,
the discussion was about the qualities, right? So
correct.
actually, cultivating good qualities means like we have to put a conscious effort to practice the qualities, to
Yeah,
live by the
yes.
quality like that, or just by doing the Navavida Bhakti, these qualities will come naturally. And because these qualities are being talked in the Jnana Yoga section of Bhagavad Gita, right? The 13th chapter.
Correct.
So, will it be like, will it become like, is it meant for Jnana Yogis only, or if bhaktas also, practice these qualities, will it become like a Jnana Mishra Bhakti kind of thing, or like that? That kind of a doubt I have.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, a very good relevant question. Prabhu is telling that in the description of Bhagavad Gita, where this shloka comes, Amanitvam, Adambitvam, this is coming in Jnana Yoga section. So how do we cultivate this, especially being practicing devotees? So, so that's a very interesting question. So we should note that in the Ishopanishad, right now, the discussion where we are right now, we have not yet seen bhakti being established the highest path yet, is it not? We are understanding that yes, there is a supreme controller, supreme proprietor, Isha, he has made laws for this world. How we should try to understand him, little we are seeing, and there is description of false knowledge. This is all yet leading to bhakti. This is not in itself a bhakti principle, but Prabhupada describes that in a bhakti purport. Now, to understand how these qualities are they to be cultivated, extraneously or separately, or are they to be seen as a result of true practice of bhakti? That's a question which Prabhu is asking. Am I right? What you frame it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah. So this question is it's a very famous question. This is described in many nice sections by great devotees. So there is a shloka in Bhagavatam, that famous shloka, Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvai gunai tatra samasate sudha. One who develops akinchana bhakti, in him all the good qualities actually appear. That's the shloka meaning. This shloka, very famous shloka. which says that if one develops the akinchana bhakti, the true unalloyed devotional, pure devotional service, he will develop all the good qualities because that will give rise to all good qualities. That's a very important reference. At the same time, you see in Bhagavad Gita, in the chapter called Bhakti Yoga, Krishna tells close to 8 shlokas describing the qualities of a devotee. I'm talking about 12th chapter. This is Bhakti Yoga section. Shloka number, I think, 13 onwards. So there he describes all different very interesting qualities, how my devotee who has developed this type of symptom of not being disturbed by the situations, he doesn't harm others by words also, he doesn't cause anxiety to others, he spoils in his, seeing the world and seeing the events in life. He's very dear to me. He's very dear to me. Krishna tells that. Please refer those shlokas. So there also Krishna is telling, that means what? Krishna wants those devotees who have these qualities are very dear to him. Means Krishna is also inspiring all of us that we should develop those qualities. So what it means here is there are both aspects. Bhakti will actually awaken those qualities in a true sense. Before coming in touch with the bhakti, one may be a little humble, in a very superior sense, non-violent or respectful. But when he understands bhakti and follows bhakti, that qualities are truly established because they are established on the spiritual ground of the relationship of Lord and the jivas as eternal relationship. So they are the true qualities. So in that sense, a bhakta, when he exhibits those qualities, they are the real qualities, the real ahimsa, the real humility, the real tolerance is seen in devotees. And at the same time, a practicing devotee should also develop those qualities. So that is also explained by acharyas. And developing those qualities is not outside the bhakti domain. Like one should become tolerant, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told, no? Trinadapi Sunijana, Tarorapi Sahishna. He's telling us, if you develop these qualities, what will be the result? At the end, Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says,
Kirtaniya Sadahara.
Kirtaniya
Yes,
Sadahara. See, so one should see this view, and that cultivation is actually cultivating bhakti only. Cultivating humility is cultivating bhakti only. We are not attempting to develop humility by some mundane methods. No, that's not the case. By living in association of devotees, by serving a guru, by following their instructions, understanding the events in life, interacting with devotees, one develops humility. Is it not? Tolerance, all this. We are always seeing them in the light of bhakti. So cultivating those qualities is cultivating bhakti. That's first thing. And secondly, one who develops bhakti, in him these qualities are seen in a complete sense. One who is practicing Shuddha Bhakti, he exhibits these qualities in a complete sense. So they are also the result of bhakti, they are also the ways to develop bhakti also. So in both sense it is told. It's not to be seen only in one side. No? So spiritual life is always with this variety. It should be seen like that. And at the bottom of the whole thing is that it's never outside the cultivation of unalloyed devotional service. It's within the domain of cultivation of bhakti. It's okay, bro? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Just one small point. Here, Krishna also is mentioning Maicha Ananya Bhakti Yogena Bhakti Ravyabhicharini, right?
Yeah,
It is
he does
like
mention that.
pure unalloyed devotional service.
Yeah. Yes.
And this is coming in the Jnana Yoga section. So I was just thinking, how come Krishna is, telling about,
mentioned.
complete pure unalloyed devotional service in this
Yeah. So that is the goal. The goal of Jnana Yoga, which is cultivation of these qualities, is Ananya Bhakti. So he does tell the principle. The philosophy is described, but the method to attain that philosophy is through knowledge. That's Jnana Yoga, no? Prabhupada, how does it define Jnana Yoga? Approaching or connecting with the Supreme Lord through knowledge. No? That's Jnana Yoga. Connecting with the absolute truth through activities is Karma Yoga. That's how Prabhupada defines in Bhagavad Gita. So one is still assessing the material nature and understanding how this one should live in this world by developing these qualities. And the highest quality is this Ananya Bhakti. So there is knowledge of pure devotion. Right now, they may not have that faith, the beginner of that path, but he will attain that as he progresses. That's how the yoga progression is.
But
Okay,
actually, the goal of
Ah.
Jnani is liberation, right? Merging in Brahman. They don't aspire for serving the Lord. No? Bhakti is service to the Lord.
The true
out of
Gnani in Krishna's definition, a true Gnani, Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Nam Prapadyate. So they aspire for liberation. And that's why Krishna also tells in the 7th chapter about, okay, those who want to attain liberation, they surrender to me. He tells that. And later he will tell those who are pursuing that knowledge, pursuing liberation with practice of my bhakti, that's called Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti. They will attain me after many, many lives. They will come to that realization that there is something beyond liberation. And in that liberation, there are many categories also, is it not? That liberation which is personalistic, which helps one in bhakti, the Vaikuntha Muktis, all that. So they are considered within the domain of bhakti actually. Only the Sayujya is outside the domain. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we do want to enter mantra 11. Let's begin that. Mantra number 11. So where are we? Yes. Yeah. So mantras 9, 10, and 11. If you have to summarize, just mantra 9 and 10. Mantra 9 told false knowledge is more dangerous than ignorance. Mantra 10 told only material knowledge gives bad qualities. Spiritual knowledge leads to what? What's the result of spiritual knowledge?
Dhira,
No, I mean to say the result.
good qualities.
Good qualities, correct. So that's the important essence actually. See here. So mantra 9 told about danger of false knowledge. It described all that. Vidya, so-called Vidya, is dangerous than avidya. And in mantra 10 we saw that there is difference between the results of mundane or material knowledge and spiritual knowledge. Basically in terms of qualities it was described. Now mantra 11 will describe very interesting phenomena. One should cultivate both vidya and avidya to truly become transcendental to this material world. To truly rise from this material world, one should actually cultivate both vidya and avidya. That's interesting. What does that mean? Let's see the shloka here. Let's see the shloka, and then we will again visit the charts for better understanding. Mantra number 11. Vidyam cha avidyam cha yastad vedo bhayam saha avidyaya mrutyam tirtva vidyaya mrutamashnute. The shloka says vidyam cha avidyam cha. Cha means and. In Sanskrit, there's a word called va. Va means or. Cha means and. Like, and is a, it's must, no? It's like conjunctive statement, is it not? Vidya and avidya. It's not Vidya or Avidya. No, it's not. Vidya and Avidya. Tad Vedaha Ubhayam Saha. Both and simultaneous. Saha means simultaneous, is it not? Huh? Saha, like Sahakara. That's the word now. Simultaneous, together, basically being together. Ubhayam means both. Vidya and Avidya should be learnt, Vedaha, together, simultaneously. Because by Avidya, by truly learning Avidya, Mrutyum Tirtva, one will cross Mrutyu. And by truly learning Vidya, Vidyaya, Amrutam Ashnute, one will attain Amrutatva. One will become immortal. By Avidya, one will transcend death. And by Vidya, one will attain immortality. Other devotee can read translation? Anyone else?
Again,
Yes, yes. Yes.
translation. Only one who can learn the process of nescience and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality.
So we have been seeing this one interesting theme that in each shloka, Vidya, Avidya have different meanings. Correct? We had seen this. In the first shloka, Avidya means Nastika Vidya, godless knowledge. And Vidya there means false knowledge in mantra number 9. In mantra number 10, Avidya means all type of material knowledge. And Vidya means spiritual knowledge. Now in mantra number 11, the meaning, interesting, what it means is Avidya here means, yes, it is material knowledge, but that knowledge about this world which is gained through Vedas. How our Shastras describe this world, that one should know. And how our Shastras describe spiritual world, that one should know. This is what is told in Ishopanishad. It is not telling, oh, one should cultivate Avidya, means one can dive headlong into the material education or material world and do all that is permitted or what material world says about. No, it's not that. One should understand the material world and spiritual world. One should know about material existence and spiritual existence, but both should be based on Vedas or Shastras. That's why Avidya here means what? Technically, Apara. And Vidya here means what? Technically,
Paravidya.
Paravidya. That's important. It doesn't mean that, oh, just see, one should cultivate Avidya also. Does this mean that one can break regulative principles, one can go and watch all or do all material activities? No, it's not encouraging or permitting such things. Let's see the purport. Vedant Prabhu, you can read the highlighted part. So, in the first part, Prabhupada will describe that because both the results of Vidya and Avidya talk about death, Mrityu, Amrita, is it not? So, he will tell about death a little. Why jivas want to become deathless? And how are they approaching the problem of death? Death is a very real problem. It happens to everyone. It will surely happen. Is it not? It is applicable for everyone and it will surely happen. Such problems are called real problems. It's not that I have a problem of cold because I live in a Arctic or Antarctic area. That's not a problem. That's problem only for certain place and people. But these problems like death are applicable for all. And how does one approach it? That's explained in purport by Prabhupada. You can begin from the beginning, since the creation.
Since the creation of the material world, everyone has been trying to attain a permanent life. But the laws of nature are so cruel that no one has been able to avoid the hand of death. No one wants to die, nor does anyone want to become old or diseased. The law of nature, however, does not allow anyone immunity from old age, disease, or death, nor has the advancement of material knowledge solved these problems. Material science can
Continue.
discover the
Hmm.
material science can discover the nuclear bomb to accelerate the process of death, but it cannot discover anything that can protect man from the cruel hands of old age, disease, and death.
So this problem of death, people are talking about it. They know it nowadays. They are increasingly understanding it, but there is no solution to it. I heard someone who attempted to reverse the aging process landed up into a very strange disease. He became very famous recently. Means anyway, this is just a contemporary information. But the point is trying to independently out of connection from Vedas, one pursuing to solve these problems will fall into failure. The law of nature does not allow anyone to become free from old age, disease, or death. And no type of material advancement can solve these problems. In fact, today we can see that these are becoming more very strange diseases. People are getting different type of diseases by which they look old. They don't have any sattva in their bodies. We can ourselves see our own bodies, actually. Is it not? How our parents and grandparents were and how old we have become, even though we are still in our middle ages. And surely death, people are dying so early nowadays. It's considered an impious state if a son dies before a father. But today, it's all the more sin, is it not? So people are hardly able to live beyond 40, 30, getting heart attacks and a strange type of diseases. So Prabhupada, that's why he's telling material science has made acceleration of process of death with its invention. One can make many people die in such short time. That's the advancement. And Prabhupada gives the description of Hiranyakashipu for it. Very interesting. Such an attempt was made even earlier to become deathless. Is it not? He wanted to become deathless. He did what not? The most difficult tapasya he did. He forced the topmost creator, Brahmaji, to give him benediction. He tried all types of cunning ways and means to become. But at the end, he had to die. He was so much materialistic in his approach. He wanted to live in this material body to enjoy as long as possible. At the end, he had to die in the hands of Narasimhadev. So Prabhupada makes that last a very interesting point. Read this, the whole point here.
The whole point here is that even Hiranyakashipu, the most powerful of materialists, could not become deathless by his various plans. What then can be accomplished by the teeny Hiranyakashipus of today, whose plans are thwarted from moment to moment?
And see, he was so powerful, he had long life, he did such long tapasya, and what he attained, and still he had to die. So Prabhupada, he warns us that approaching the problem of death from only material knowledge is one-sided. It will not solve the problem. People understand that yes, death is a problem, mortality. People even gauge how a country is progressing by seeing how many people, how often, people are dying, how long they are living, how happy they are, the happiness index also. These are measured actually nowadays. But point is, how are they able to solve the problem? If one is approaching this problem only from material viewpoint, it will be a one-sided attempt. So Prabhupada makes that. Not to make one-sided attempt to win this material existence. So Prabhupada brings that ahead. One must approach Shastras to actually transcend this problem. One must attain a deathless place. Krishna calls this in Bhagavad Gita as Anamayam Jagat. What is that word? In 15th chapter, that shloka starts now. Tata padam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gata nivartanti bhuyah tameva chadyam purusham prapadye yatah pravritti nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha sanyai gacchantya mudha padam avyayam tat. That avyaya pada, that anamaya pada, that is the spiritual world. One should actually attain that. So Krishna described the material world in that 15th chapter as the reflected banyan tree. Is it not? At the end, how did he solve that? What did he say as the solution for that? One should come out of that entanglement by the weapon of anasakti, asanga shastra, and then attain spiritual world. That's how Krishna said it, right? So that is the place which is deathless. So one should actually approach the scriptures for becoming deathless. Can you read this? The process by which?
The process by which one goes back to Godhead is a different branch of knowledge, and it has to be learned from revealed Vedic scriptures such as the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. To become happy in this life and attain a permanent blissful life after leaving this material body, one must study this sacred literature and obtain transcendental knowledge.
Interesting. So there are certain books within the broad Vedic literature which talk about it, which tell about the nature of spiritual world, the nature of this material world, how one should make that journey. Is it not? So that kind of books should be referred and followed. Upanishads, they are the beginning steps actually. Upanishads are the doorway to transcendence. That's the explanation. Karmakanda, that is the 4 Vedas, majorly, Samhitas, Aranyakas, Brahmanas, they talk more about how to live in this world, how to enhance pleasure in this world. But Upanishads, they talk about the other existence, other world. They are telling us about transcending. And in that line, Vedanta Sutra, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, they are like the highest explanations of this path, that is to attain immortality. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam. Among all the scriptures which talk about transcending this world and attaining immortality, Srimad Bhagavatam is the highest. Galitam phalam, the highest, most ripened fruit of that tree, actually. So to learn that, one should approach this type of sacred literatures and obtain that knowledge. One should not approach it with one's own pratyaksha, anumana, pramana, jnanas. One should approach, even in the Vedic literature, approach this category of literature. That's why Prabhupada is mentioning that. And below, he mentions that this is one way to understand. The another way to understand and make progress in the attaining immortality is to follow God-sent liberated people, Varacharyas. So Supreme Lord Krishna, he helps the jivas reach him in majorly two ways. In fact, three ways. One is he himself comes to this world as Avatara and he tells, he shows by his own life and he instructs also. Is that not? That is, he himself comes to this world. But that is not frequent in the sense of one's limited life, is it not? At the same time, he also gives access to spiritual knowledge by giving us Shastras, the Vedic knowledge, Shastras. That's second way in which Krishna helps us to attain. The third way, very important way, is by giving us the Guru, the Acharyas, who actually come and teach the Shastra, teach the right way to understand avatars. They, in fact, leave behind them all their writings by which we can, by following which we can attain immortality. So Prabhupada tells that. So the Acharyas, they come and describe us this whole thing. Can you read this from his kingdom? Read this.
Yeah. From his kingdom, the personality of Godhead sends his bona fide servants to propagate this message by which one can return to Godhead. And sometimes the Lord comes himself to do this work. Since all living beings are his beloved sons, his parts and parcel, God is more sorry than we ourselves to see the sufferings we are constantly undergoing in this material condition. The miseries of this material world serve to indirectly remind us of our incompatibility with dead matter. Intelligent living entities generally take note of these reminders and engage themselves in the culture of Vidya or transcendental knowledge. Human life is the best opportunity for the culture of spiritual knowledge, and a human being who does not take advantage of this opportunity is called a Naradhama, the lowest of human beings.
Human beings. There is a lot in this one small paragraph. Firstly, Prabhupada says that God is more sorry than ourselves, seeing our suffering. Actually, there is a class of philosophers who say that okay, God, he doesn't interfere in our actions. He is happy in his own existence. He is, how do we say that? He is least bothered about us. But here Prabhupada is saying that no, God is more sorry than we ourselves are. We are in illusion, thinking we are going good. But Krishna knows our reality, how that will not truly satisfy us. So he is more sorry than ourselves and he tries to help us in various ways. Now, very interesting. The next line is very interesting. The miseries of material world serve to indirectly remind us of our incompatibility with dead matter. Can somebody explain this statement? Actually, this is a question for all of you also in your question bank. What does miseries remind us of in this world? Like that, there's a question. But point is, can somebody explain this statement? Anyone, please.
So every time we face the misery, right, it reminds us that we do not belong to this matter and we need to go out of this material world. It's not for us to live forever.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Vedant. True. It's the hard fact. See. Anybody would like to add to it? Prabhu told very well. Yes. Anybody would like to add to it?
Yes, Prabhu, just one point. Because the soul by nature is Ananda, Sachidananda, and matter is Nirananda, so the misery. So that is showing the incompatibility. Because by nature we are Ananda and we are seeking that Ananda, but misery
Correct.
is not kind of against our nature, so it's incompatible with our original nature.
Correct. Yes. Yes. So exactly you told. Yes. We want to live long. That's our nature. But we are forced to die and keep changing our situation. We want to live happy, but we are increasingly, put into suffering situations. The soul's nature is Anandamaya Abhyasa. Is it not? So the point is, we are in a incompatible environment. Those who are working with softwares, they know what does this mean. Incompatible versions. Things don't work well, no? Is it not? They will always show, no, this doesn't go well. This version is not compatible. So we are spiritual by nature and the world is material. So that's the incompatibility. So the misery is just a symptom of that incompatibility. It doesn't go well. So this should be the vision of a progressing sadhaka. Yes, in the course of living, he may have to address the problems as a responsibility, as a care for the fellow spiritual partners. That's right. But the vision should be not to make this world compatible. That will never be actually. How can that be? By very nature, it is incompatible. So the miseries should remind us indirectly of our incompatibility with matter, dead matter. Very strong, nice statement actually. So that's why intelligent jivas should engage in the culture of vidya, that transcendental knowledge, the knowledge which transcends us from this incompatible nature. And for that, human life is the best opportunity. In no other life can we appreciate this incompatibility the best. And to spoil such an opportunity, Prabhupada says, is the most foolish act. Naradhama. Is it not? So very beautiful. Each statement is so very filled with meaning actually. So for all of your exams, that misery part is there. You can note that part at least. So Prabhupada says ahead about the path of avidya, going ahead, that how the path of avidya, which is basically repeating birth and death, it actually makes the jiva become increasingly disappointed about his life. That he's forced to die, he's forced to take birth. Imagine we are living in a place and we are constantly told to vacate a place. Every year or every 6 months, you are changing your house or flat. It looks so odd, no? You just want to settle down at one place. So the jivas in this world, they want to settle down, but the material nature is forcing them to evict out. It's evicting them out. Hey, get out. They have to do it. It's such a sorry state of affair. So death is compared to taking off, and birth is compared to accepting new garments or situations like that. So there is forcible events like this: birth, death, birth. And between them, there is also old age and disease. Now, very interesting. So far, Prabhupada talked about the nature of this world. As we saw, in this shloka, avidya means understanding material world as scriptures described. The nature of this world, how the events of this world should be understood, all that. And a part of avidya is also to know what activities will increase our miseries. What activities will increase our miseries? Prabhupada gives a very nice example for it. The example comes in the second part of this paragraph, but nonetheless, we can start reading from the beginning. Read this. Therefore, the culture of vidya.
Therefore, the culture of vidya or transcendental knowledge is essential for the human being. Sense enjoyment in the diseased material condition must be restricted as far as possible. Unrestricted sense enjoyment in this bodily condition is the path of ignorance and death. The living entities are not without spiritual senses. Every living being in his original spiritual form has all the senses, which are now materially manifested, being covered by the material body and mind. The activities of the material senses are perverted reflections of the activities of the original spiritual senses. In his diseased condition, the spiritual soul engages in material activities under the material covering. Real sense enjoyment is possible only when the disease of materialism is removed. In our pure spiritual form, free from all material contamination, real enjoyment of the senses is possible. A patient must regain his health before he can truly enjoy sense pleasure again. Thus, the aim of human life should not be enjoy perverted sense enjoyment, but to cure the material disease. Aggravation of the material disease is no sign of knowledge, but a sign of avidya, ignorance.
Very interesting. So Prabhupada is giving the example of a diseased situation. In disease situation, some activities are prohibited because they aggravate the disease. Someone who has got cough, he should not take oily foods, is it not? Someone who has gotten cold, he should not take something which increases the kapha or like that. So there are clear no, don'ts, which one should follow, is it not? But if one foolishly does them, then he will aggravate the disease. That's not considered as knowledge. That's ignorance. Now, Prabhupada, this example, he makes it so well, he takes it ahead to give us very interesting principle ahead. He read ahead for good health.
For good health, a person should not increase his fever from 105 degrees to 107 degrees, but should reduce his temperature to the normal 98.6. That should be the aim of human life.
So the normal human temperature according to Fahrenheit or Celsius is different. Fahrenheit is 98.6 degrees. So when a person gets fever, his temperature increases, right? 102, 103, 104. 104 is high fever. Imagine 105, going beyond that. It's increasing the fever. It's like emergency. They quickly take him to hospital or, admit. I had gotten once 104, 105. It was very difficult. So the point is, one should try to reduce the temperature. So immediately they give some paracetamol, something like that, which brings down the temperature. And then they address it by some antibiotic or viral, whatever, viral fever. So the point is, one should reduce the temperature from 105 to normal, not aggravate it. So why this is told? So right now we are in a diseased state. Means what? We are having high temperature. We should not increase the body temperature by indulging in sinful activities, material activities, which Shastras don't prescribe. We should bring down to normal temperature, 98.6. That's why you see Prabhupada, when he told the devotees to take vows of initiation, he did tell those 4 things to avoid. They are what? They are trying to reduce our disease situation, is it not? No meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication. They actually, if we don't follow them, then our fever increases. It may even affect our spiritual life. So such kind of care one should take to reduce the temperature. Today, in the name of advancement, people are increasing the temperature. Robert is very nice. Can you read ahead? Sri Ishopanishad.
Yeah. Sri Ishopanishad herein warns that we must not follow this dangerous path leading to death. On the contrary, we must develop the culture of spiritual knowledge so that we may become completely free from the cruel hands of death.
Continue.
This does not mean that all activities for the maintenance of the body should be stopped. There is no
Now, this
question.
is another side of the same example. Now, 98.6 one should bring. One should maintain the right temperature of activity. One cannot make one's life fully devoid of activities, or that will be like taking the temperature lower than normal. One should have a normal temperature of the body. So that's where this is the brilliance of Prabhupada. Continue reading. There is no question of
Stopping activities, just as there is no question of wiping out one's temperature altogether when trying to recover from disease.
So
To
do
make
you
the
know
best
when does the temperature of the body is zero?
death
Dead body's temperature is zero. So one should not increase the temperature of body by wrong indulgences in material. And one should not become impersonalistic or stopping activities and things like that's also foolish. So read ahead. Very beautiful statements are coming. Yeah.
To make the best use of bad bargain is the appropriate expression. The culture of spiritual knowledge necessitates the help of the body and mind. Therefore, maintenance of the body and mind is required if we are to reach our goal. The normal temperature should be maintained at 98.6 degrees, and the great sages and saints of India have attempted to do this by a balanced program of spiritual and material knowledge. They never allow the misuse of contents resistance.
Yeah. Thank you. So the proper expression or the principle is here to make the best use of bad bargain. I hope you remember in the last sloka also this came. So to make the best utility of the material body and mind for a spiritual purpose. That's the appropriate expression. So we should do activities. We have to live in this world, doing activities and all. But we should do it with a spiritual purpose. So to keep the body and mind in a very good state. They say, what is that? Healthy body and a healthy mind. What is that? If one's body is good, then mind is also in a very good state. There's a statement. So the point is, one should maintain body and mind very well in a good condition with the purpose of spiritual perfection. And this was attempted by, this was suggested and advised and shown by great acharyas in the past, saints in the past. So Prabhupada here brings about the principle of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Religion, economic development, sense gratification, and salvation. So in the Vedas, there are these 4 purusharthas. But all these purusharthas, dharma, that is duties, religion also, artha, economic development, sense gratification, that is kama, and moksha is salvation. But all these 4 are practiced with the goal of salvation actually. You see, nowadays people forget. In fact, in the Vedic times also, people were just rotating the cycle of dharma, artha, kama, dharma, artha, kama, dharma, artha, kama. And when a person becomes fed up with that cycle, then he looks towards moksha. Oh yeah, there it's actually. But the whole principle, the whole framework, it explains that how moksha is the ultimate attainment. And dharma, artha, kama, because the jiva is currently impure condition, he wants to engage in this world. To become purified of those desires, one may indulge in them. And that is done within the framework of dharma or Vedas. What activities or duties to do, what are the right activities, that is all prescribed in the Shastras, and by which he may attain his artha and kama. Now here, Prabhupada gives very interesting definition of dharma, artha, and kama based on Bhagavatam. Yeah? Usually people think one should do one's duties to attain wealth, artha, and by that wealth he fulfills his desires, kama. That's how people think. But according to Bhagavatam, in the very first, the second chapter of Bhagavatam, of first canto, this is described. What is the true dharma? How should one use his artha? What should be one's kama? All that is described in Bhagavatam. So Prabhupada gives that in the simple words here. Read this highlighted part, Prabhu.
Path of religion is actually meant for self-realization, and economic development is required just to maintain the body in a sound, healthy condition. A man should lead a healthy life with a sound mind just to realize vidya, true knowledge, which is the aim of human life.
Very interesting. There are shlokas. Dharmasya hi apavargasya nartho arthayopachakalpate narthasya dharmaikantasya labho jivetayavata kamasya na indriya preetir labho jivetaya jivasya tattva jignasa nartho yascheha karmavi. There are these very nice verses which come in the second chapter of first canto, which tell that dharma should be meant for moksha, self-realization, and artha should be for maintaining one's body and mind, not fulfilling one's desires. One should desire tattva jignas. One should desire to know about absolute truth. That is the true desire. So like this, the true definitions are also told. So the point here is one should live a regulated life. One should follow the prescriptions of the Shastras of what not to do so that he doesn't aggravate the disease. Going to the earlier example of fever. One should not increase one's body temperature. One should keep a appropriate temperature by following these 4 tenets, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and how they should be aimed, that is described. Now, here Prabhupada makes the last statement. One should maintain a healthy life with a sound mind to realize vidya. That's the aim of human life. One should take care of body and mind and all that is belonging to it with this condition. Especially the path of bhakti, it so beautifully fulfills this, is it not? One can be a person living in this world. He can be fulfilling all that which his immediate dharma demands. But if he is doing it with this aim to realize vidya, the true knowledge, the paravidya, the bhakti, then he is progressing. In that sense, the bhakti path, it actually is the real vidya, real method. So Prabhupada, that's why he says the path of vidya is most perfectly presented in Srimad Bhagavatam, because it directs a human being to utilize his life to inquire into absolute tattva jignasa. That's described as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. That shlokas come ahead. Vadanti tat tattva vidaha, all that. So, in a sense, what we are seeing here is that vidya and avidya both should be practiced, cultivated. What it means? One should know about the nature of this world, the principles that govern this world, how to live in this world properly, how to maintain one's body and mind in a sound, healthy situation. When we say body and mind, it also involves all that belongs to the body. Is it not? The immediate family or all that, So one takes care of all that. That is with the purpose of vidya. So avidya, that is the knowledge about this world, is pursued with the purpose of vidya, spiritual perfection. So one should never miss out on the goal. That's emphatically told. And where are these principles described? In the Bhakti Shastras like Srimad Bhagavatam. And these principles are best practiced under the close guidance of a living spiritual guide, a guru, Shiksha Guru actually. Well, how does one strike a balance between how much to earn, how much to spend, how much to save, how to have good relationships, all that. It is something which one should learn with close guidance, because everyone's state, everyone's situation is different. So the principles are described here. How to have what should be the aim of all this. That principle is described. The details of it, one should, because they are different from one person to other person, one should take a close guidance. So Prabhupada tells here, you see, the 18 principles of Bhagavad Gita described in the purport to that shloka we saw earlier, 9, mantra 10. The central purpose of these 18 principles is attainment of transcendental devotional service. Therefore, all classes of men are encouraged to learn the art of devotional service. That's the goal, is it not? Mayi chananya yogena, we saw that, is it not? So, and that kind of ananya bhakti is described in Bhakti Shastras like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which describe this ananya bhakti in various details. So, as practicing bhaktas, we should know these details of the path of bhakti. So the 64 limbs, what to avoid, how to practice, how one should cultivation, what should be one's attitude, all that. That's why in this course of Bhakti Shastri, we have this study of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So in Bhagavatam, it is told very emphatically that one should hear, glorify, meditate, and worship the Supreme Lord with one pointed focus. It's told very clearly there. So how does one do that? By understanding this Shastras like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So basically at the end, Prabhupada is pointing it out that we should learn both Vidya and Avidya. We should learn more deeply the science of Bhakti and follow it with a close guidance actually. Because even following Vidya, losing the focus of attainment of Lord is also, futile. So Prabhupada says that last statement, unless dharma, artha, kama are all practiced with attainment of bhakti, they are all different expressions of nescience. Even following Vedas, even following the Shastras, if one is not doing it, if one loses out on the purpose, that is also a defeat in one sense. So Prabhupada points that out very, very clearly. So essentially, in mantra number 11, we have seen so far that how to solve the problem of death if we are making only material attempt, it will fail. The example of Hiranyakashipu was told. And then it was told that one should refer to certain specific scriptures. Any of you recollect what are those scriptures Prabhupada mentions? What type of scriptures or names he says for attaining immortality?
Bhakti
Yes.
Rasamrita Sindhu.
Bhakti
Rasamrita. Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta Sutra, Bhagavatam, yes, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, of course. Yeah, all that, yeah. And then we saw, that famous example of deceased man. Please note that that's a very important analogy. It comes in your exam also. Basically, what it means is one should maintain the normal temperature. If one is already in a diseased condition, he has high temperature, one should not aggravate the body temperature. What does that mean? It means one should not indulge in those which are prohibited, those activities which are prohibited. That will be increasing the temperature. At the same time, one should not reduce the body temperature to below normal. That will also be dangerous. So one should strike that normal temperature. How does one do it? And if you recollect, the framework of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha was told for that. You know? And within that, Prabhupada also talked about the real definitions for them and how bhakti is the highest moksha and how one should follow it by reading Bhakti Shastras and following the proper guru, all that. So the statement, best use of bad bargain, is a very important statement in these two purports. That's a very important principle, actually, guiding light, actually. So in one sense, a devotee, he does these activities. He's also cultivating the knowledge about this world, nourishing this tree. He's taking care of the bodily activities, all that. At the same time, he's also taking care of not forgetting the goal, actually. This is the goal. The goal is spiritual knowledge. Just like when we are traveling to some destination, we take care of the car. Taking care of the car is with the purpose of reaching certain destination. We should not forget that, and leave it in the garage only or in the shed only. Every day we are putting fuel or taking maintenance, all that, but we never use it. And we should not use it for wrong destinations. That's surely there. We should use it for right destination. So that should be the way to lead life in this world with the pursuance with the aim for spiritual world, actually. So very beautiful verses. They are very, meaning filled, actually. So mantra 9, mantra 10, mantra 11, they are with very clear principles. Mantra 9 told about danger of false knowledge. Mantra 10 told about difference in results of mundane and spiritual knowledge. And mantra 11 told how one should, the importance of cultivating both of them, spiritual and material knowledge, but the goal is to transcend the world. So it's a very nice progression of these three verses. So please remember this, the way in which these three mantras have flown, because the very same reference will be there for worship. So we may not even take that much time to complete the next three verses also. Okay. So the same point frame of reference is there for worship. There also false worship and non-worship and mundane worship, spiritual worship. All that will be explained there. It will come in the context of worship, actually. Okay, so I conclude this today here. We today studied mantra 10, we completed, and mantra 11 also we completed. We will do mantra 12, start it tomorrow in the next session. Next week, we will try to again meet for this. Thank you very much. Shri Ishopanishad ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Yeah, actually,
Yes.
I was having one question regarding the cultivation of qualities. One of the qualities is the tolerance, right, or forgiveness. I think both are like kind of similar, right? So, for practicing forgiveness, am I audible?
You are audible.
Yeah. So usually for practicing forgiveness, it is said that don't blame the instrument of your karma, like that, right? Okay, whatever is coming is what we have done in the past, our own karma coming. So with that understanding, we can try to practice, not retaliate or hold grudges against people who do bad to us, like that, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
when it comes to gratitude, actually what happens is when practicing gratitude, now the same kind of understanding comes, okay, whatever is coming, suppose someone does something good to me, then this kind of understanding kind of spoils that feeling or mood of gratitude. Suppose if someone does good to me, then also I may think, anyway, it's my own karma that is coming, what is the need to be grateful for? And that may hamper in cultivating the quality of gratitude. I hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say. I may become disinterested, actually, to practice gratitude like that. Anyway, everything is coming by karma like that. So can you please help me out on, how to work on this? Uh,
Thank you. So you're telling the cultivation of tolerance, thinking that I am receiving the reaction of my past activity, and so are others also. So that cultivation on that basis may harm or may not go well with the cultivation of other qualities like gratitude. So how do we understand it? Huh? Am I right?
yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. That thought can hamper.
Okay. So the cultivation of these qualities is done at various levels. A monist or a jnani may cultivate these qualities at a level of seeing that everything is happening because of one's own past actions. How this world is just, it's just giving us the reaction of what we have done, in that sense, one may develop. But the cultivation by bhakta is far deeper. The cultivation of tolerance forgiveness, for example, or tolerance, for example, you told, it is also different in the life of a devotee. He sees, in the beginning, there could be that level of seeing it as past actions, this thing. But a bhakta sees it one more step ahead. How does he see? It's described in Bhagavatam. Tattenukampa susamikshamana. Bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam. So there, Brahmaji tells in that shloka that yes, a devotee, he sees that he is actually getting the reactions of his past actions, but he sees that it is greatly favored by the Lord. The Lord gives the right reactions for me to come closer to him. So ultimately, he sees the hand of Lord there. And he accepts those situations very gratefully. There is also cultivation of gratitude there, actually. Atmakritam vipakam hridvag vapur bhir vidadhan namaste. Namaste means what? He's very grateful in his actions of body, mind, and words. He's offering respects to Krishna. Oh Krishna, you have actually greatly favored me by purifying me, giving me the reactions for my purification. And in this state, I want to serve you. So a devotee wants to serve Lord in any type of material situation. So that can be seen. He is able to tolerate or forgive any type of injustice, all that, because his goal is to have a favorable relationship with Krishna. You see, when we just see with the Gnani point of view, as everything is just a reaction of my own action, and there is no role of Krishna in that, it makes us little indifferent or hard-hearted also. But ultimately, Krishna is beyond even karma. He is the controller of karma. For the life of a devotee, he is so very much involved. He gives the reactions. He gives, actually, whatever happens in the life of a devotee is to be not seen as a karma. It should be seen as given by Krishna. Is it not? That's how our Bhakti Shastras describe. So seeing this view will help him to cultivate tolerance, to cultivate even gratitude. Krishna, you have reduced a lot of reactions. You are giving me for my purification. You see, you have so much concern for me. And he also is very, tolerant, because he knows that these were reactions of his past. That is also there, is it not? So it involves all the other viewpoints, but it surely holds the Krishna in the highest light, that he is one who is governing the life of a devotee. Whatever happens in the life of a devotee is under the control of Krishna. Is that helpful, Prabhu? Correct.
Prabhu,
Hare
actually, when we use the word devotee, am I audible, Prabhu?
You are audible. Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. So when we use the word yeah. So when you use the word devotee, here usually
Yeah.
it means a perfected devotee, right? But
That
when it
shloka is
comes to
not for only
sadhakas,
perfected devotees.
at least
That shloka
say
which we
for
quoted, is for
uh,
sadhakas only.
okay,
It is for sadhakas only.
okay, acha.
How one should cultivate it, that's told by Brahmaji in that sense. How a sadhaka, because otherwise, how can a sadhaka get miseries? Tell.
No, it
There
can
in
be
the
because
shloka it
of
tells,
karma, right? Because of
but the
karma also
karma
one
is
can get misery, right?
controlled by Krishna. No, we don't even say that word karma. We say that it is controlled by Krishna because it's completely under the control of Krishna.
Yeah, in case of
So the
perfected
point,
devotees, Krishna intervenes, na? In case of
in case
sadhakas,
of practicing devotees, also Krishna is there very much.
okay.
Can you say some verses where you only for pure devotees Krishna is there, not for
No,
practicing
usually,
devotees?
yeah. It's like Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. No, the Dadami
Okay.
Buddhiyogam Tam in the 10th
Yeah.
chapter, 9th chapter,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
he is always telling ki those who are, doing Ananya Bhakti and all that, for them,
That verse is for Mahatmas. That's true. That's Satatam Kirtayanto Mam is for Mahatmas. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. That's Ananyas Smarana. But there are also instances like Ajamila, like for Indra. For all of them, Krishna is very much there, no, in their life. Is it not? And whoever is aspiring, trying to follow despite his slips and falls, for him also Krishna is there. Even if a jiva who lands up into a vikarma, he's practicing bhakti, but he falls into a vikarma also, Krishna purifies him. These are very clear statements. Actually, I request that in the Ishopanishad last part, there are very beautiful shlokas of prayers which come in the last part, especially 17th and 18th. There, this principle will come. We can take references of many books and all, but I just want to hold on to this one book of our study. In this very book, this principle will be described in the last part, that how Krishna cares for the devotees or the jivas who have expressed their desire, who have begun to follow the path of bhakti. And surely he is taking care of the pure devotees. So that principle is for everyone, Prabhu. And for everyone, even a person who has just started bhakti, chanted the name of Lord even once, for him also Krishna is in the control of his life. This is very much explained in the Bhakti Shastras. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay.
So maybe we'll discuss on this aspect in the mantras 17 and 18. It comes very, very clear there. Okay, maybe you can
Sure.
wait till that because there are many
Yeah.
references come. I don't want to just show some verses and brush off that question. There we can see it very systematically. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any
Thank you,
other
Prabhu.
comment
Correct.
or question?
Prabhuji,
Any other?
I have the extension question of that question. Like
Yes.
when cultivating gratitude also, so those
Ah.
whoever favors us, so we cannot
Ah.
take it for granted that it is by our good karma. Even that is also coming by the Krishna's mercy only. Right?
Yes. Yes. Correct. Krishna inspires someone to help others. It is actually it's help of Krishna coming through many people, but nonetheless we should offer our respects to all the mediums of help in which Krishna helps us. Krishna helps us through our parents, through our relatives, through our teachers, through our fellow devotees, through our gurus, Diksha, Shiksha gurus, all of them. Ultimately, Krishna is the one who is helping all of us. At the same time, we should respect the medium. They are offering us Krishna's protection, Krishna's guidance. So we should be grateful. That's very clear, actually. Thank you. Good point. Hare Krishna. Any other comment? Hare Krishna. We are approaching the last part of Ishopanishad. Please be prepared for your essay questions, open book questions. I hope the first question is complete. I saw answers of 2 students, devotees, at the offline class. Madhavajit Prabhu and then Mataji, Ashwini Mataji. I hope others are doing it well. In fact, you had to submit also, right? Prabhu, you made that announcement, no? Last date and all. How many submitted?
Yeah, Prabhu. I already shared the form. I think around 9-10 devotees have already submitted the assignment.
Okay, good. You can publish the names of people who have submitted so that you acknowledge their
sure.
submission also in that sense. Now, the second question is already in the process. You are getting a lot of pointers for them. So please prepare for that. And by the end of this very study of all the verses, you should complete the second question and submit it. And by that time, your closed book assessment also will come. So you will be more free to focus on closed book test by that time. And anyway, that will be the last test. And you can progress to the next unit. So please follow the deadlines or the suggested timelines so that your study becomes less anxiety. Shri Ishopanishad ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.